The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Welcome to Generations Radio, where the focus is on our seniors and their families. We are here each Saturday afternoon from 5 until 6 p.m., bringing you resourceful information with our radio team of professionals in the field of aging. Stay with us for the next 1 hour as we explore different ways to make life more exciting and meaningful for our extraordinary seniors. Right here on AM 690 The Answer. And now, here is our host and the publisher of Generations Magazine, Percy Ihara.
Welcome to Generations Radio. We're back here every Saturday, Sunday. The Generations Radio for our seniors and their families. So welcome to the show here on AM 690 The Answer. And as you guys know, we've been talking about this for a little while now, our 9th annual Aging in Place workshop from Generations Magazine and our partner there at KHON2 News, the Elderhood Project. You may have seen it on the TV this past week. We'll be talking about our 9th annual Aging in Place workshop. That is next Saturday, August 15th at the Alamana Hotel from 8:30 to 2:30. And to help me to promote the show and talk about the show is two of our key organizers, because I'm not the key organizer. So we have Hope Young from Kokua Care and Cynthia Arnold from Declutter Hawaii, or do you want to say Senior Move Manager, two companies. So welcome to the show, ladies, and thank you very much.
Hi, Percy.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
And yes, you guys do most of the work. I just sit back and take all the glory, but thank you so much, and I appreciate that. But anyway, we want to talk about, both of you have been in the industry for a little while, and both of you obviously work with seniors every day. So I kind of want to just talk to you guys about why you do what you do, what do you see for the future of aging and your specific field. So Hope, let's start with you. You are with Kokua Care and a in-home care provider. Now you're a nonprofit now, isn't that correct?
We are. We became a nonprofit about 3 years ago.
And it's been 3 years already?
Yeah, it's been 3 years.
Wow. So why did you guys, because you were a for-profit company for many years.
We were. We wanted to have the opportunity to take advantage of grants and provide services to people who can't afford to have the services. So we now actually offer that program. We have funding from the state as well as the city to provide services for seniors who can't afford to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, but you're you're a young lady, and you've been in this aging field for how long now?
Well, I've been with Kokua Care for 11 years, but I've been working with seniors for about 15. It's been a fun journey. I started off working with Alzheimer's seniors, and they really make life interesting. So I have a soft spot for them.
And your mother, you're assisting as well?
My mom she has Parkinson's, and she now takes advantages of our services. So I have actually hired a caregiver to work with her a couple of times a week.
Oh, really? Good
Yeah.
for you. And so what drives you, or what makes you like this, or have been in this industry so long?
I really have a soft spot for seniors in general. I think they are treasures. They're living treasures. They are the heart of our history. They can tell you stories that you've never heard. And they can tell you, I actually met someone who walked with Martin Luther King.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. He's one of my idols and people that I look up to.
Yeah, she told me the story about she walked with him, and it was just like eye-opening because that's history. I mean, that's history I've read about, but she lived it. So I really have that space for them, that love for them.
Now, as we all know, and you read in the paper in our magazine about aging and caregiving, and you're in a caregiving field, and I've been hearing we have some shortage of, or we're going to get a shortage of caregivers.
There is a shortage of caregivers. The hard part is finding people that have that love. So often we hear about people who are doing it for the money. We really try to find people who have the heart for this. It's really hard to provide these services for seniors if you don't have the compassion for them.
Absolutely, because I mean, there have been cases, as we all know, if we're in a community where caregiver takes advantage of the senior, or maybe the son or daughter that's taking care of mom or dad, taking advantage of their parents, and it's really sad.
It is. I mean, how do you do that to somebody? It's just terrible.
Yeah. And so, is there any quick fix? Is there what should we do to try and find more caregivers? Do we import them from different countries? I don't know, but I know, in the Filipino community, and they've done a fantastic job of providing that care.
They have, and those are we have a lot of Filipino caregivers, but we also are having a lot more Tongan and Samoan caregivers as well.
Oh, great.
They are a lot of them start off just by providing care for their own family members, and they realize that they can earn money from this, and they start doing it as a living.
Yeah, I mean, very limited training. I mean, I know we have to, most of them are, was that CNAs, certified nurses, aides, assistants?
Most of them have nurses aid training. A lot of them, and there's different levels of care. So the ones that have actual training would be nurses aides. The ones that have family training or family experience, they would be considered companion caregivers.
But there's a number of programs out there that provide, like you said, Kukua Care, which is a nonprofit now, does provide you have grants, so you provide actually free caregiving or respite services?
Yes, we do. We have two different grants that we're working with, one with the city, one with the state. We're going out and we're helping seniors that they're not necessarily financially burdened, but they can't afford to pay for it out of pocket. So these are seniors who are still on Medicare. They haven't transitioned to Medicaid yet, but they are living Social Security check to Social Security check. They don't have enough money to pay for the services, so they're kind of at risk of being self-neglected or of not being able to get their food. So we go in there, we actually provide those services for them.
And when you say you got grants, so the senior does not have to pay for anything, but is there a qualification or paperwork they got to fill out?
They don't have to fill out anything.
What?
Yeah, they don't have to fill out anything. They just need to call us and we'll go out. We'll do an assessment.
I see.
We'll do a free assessment. The state will do their own assessment and we'll determine how much care is needed. This is meant to help people to remain aging in place. These are people who are at risk of being placed. As we both know, there's not enough beds out there for these people. So these are people who are at risk of being placed or of self-neglect. We go out and we'll figure out what it is that we can do to help them stay independent at home.
So you don't have to have been on qualified for Medicaid yet?
No, not at all.
Because I was just on a big island, so some of you guys that are male or seniors that played in a senior softball tournament. I was in Kona this past week at the senior softball tournament. I'm not a senior, but you can have one guy in the 60, minimum 55, which so I was a young boy. But a number of my teammates are taking care of the mom. And one of them specifically was my roommate. His sister needed some help. She's 60, I believe, close to 60. And she's been disabled since nearly childhood. But so he's been taking care of her for a long time. So maybe I should have him give you a call over there.
Well, if they're on the outer islands, we don't provide the service over there yet.
Not yet. No, they live on Oahu.
Oh.
We flew over, our Honolulu team, about 15 teams from Honolulu flew over to Kona for the state tournament.
Yeah, if they're here, definitely give us a call. If they're already getting state-provided services, they wouldn't qualify for it. But if they're not receiving any additional services from any place else, then we could definitely see if we're able to help them.
Okay, great. But yeah, this industry of caregivers, where can you go? I believe we talked about it. I believe the Red Cross is.
Red Cross has one. The one that I always like to refer people to is Kupuna Education Center, but they're having funding problems right now.
Right.
But there are various nurses aid programs out there that people can take advantage of. I always recommend family caregivers who have to do hands-on services with their loved one. Anything to do with transfers or bathing, they should really find out how to do it the right way. They don't want to get hurt themselves, and they don't want to hurt their seniors. So
Right. So thank you. But anyway, thank you so much for what you do and for the Aging in Place workshop. And just let you guys know real quick, 2016 is going to be on August 20th, which is a Saturday. So I know the ladies are going to write it down. August 20th, 2016 is our 10th annual Aging in Place workshop. And we'll see. Hopefully we'll have it at the Alamano Hotel, but we'll see. Anyway, our other really major volunteer for the Aging in Place workshop is Cynthia Arnold. And with Declutter Hawaii and Senior Move Manager, Cynthia, so welcome to the show again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so, you're two companies in one, or one company with two names, or how is that?
We are two companies in one for now. Senior Move Managers was started 5 years ago to help seniors move from their home into a retirement community. And a couple years later, we started Declutter Hawaii because a lot of clients called and said, I'm not a senior. I'm 50 years old. I'm not moving anywhere, but I need help decluttering. Hopefully by the end of 2015, Declutter Hawaii will be a nonprofit organization.
Wow.
We're going through the system right now of creating a nonprofit basically to help clients that don't have money. but need to. So we get a lot of calls from the Adult Protective Services, Elderly Affairs, city and county, but they don't have any funds. They live in a senior residence and it's completely cluttered, not safe for them, but they don't have any funds, obviously, to get this help.
But as senior residences, they kind of clutter their rooms. Don't they get inspections once a year?
I've seen those apartments, and at the point where they're at, most times they just throw everything away, or they have to clear it for some. So there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just the maintenance people come and say, okay, well, all this stuff has to go, so they bag it up and throw it away. So we can be there to help them to sort through it and to help make an effort to donate it or to let them go through that process of decluttering.
So you have senior move managers, which helps people relocate a lot of times into assisted living facilities or the CCRCs, right?
Correct.
And so what percentage of business is that versus the Declutter Hawaii?
Right now, probably 50-50.
Really?
Of course, all the retirement communities aren't completely full, but they don't have, when Craigside opened, they had 170 rooms. We helped probably over 100.
Wow.
But now it's about 50-50. A lot of clients are calling to just declutter their homes because mom fell and the kids realize, well, it's because there's so much stuff on the floor, so we need to declutter so mom can come back home and live in that home, or they are moving.
Now, didn't I see on that interview with Ron Mizutani about that home? I mean, we don't want to go talk a lot about it, but that home in Kamiki that was really, really cluttered and had a lot of trash over there. Isn't that kind of an extreme stage, though?
That is extreme. It's extreme because most times they don't let it come outside of their house. I've been in homes where you can park on their carport and look, oh, wow, this is actually a really nice house. It's pretty clean. And you go into the house and you can't even open the door.
Yeah.
So most times it is in the house and not outside, and that was extreme. The other way it was extreme was because she hoarded trash. There was no reason on hoarding, Tupperware maybe, or plastic containers or this and that. She was grabbing trash from other people's places and bringing it to her house.
But did anybody ever talk to her, or she's not there anymore? I understand she's not living there anymore, right?
They can't find her. From what I heard, just by talking to people there, they think that she's homeless somewhere in Kamiki, but they can't locate her. She does have a mental disorder of some sort.
No family involved?
The two parents passed away. They did well, but they wanted to make sure that she was taken care of because of her mental illness. But she stopped taking her medication. The neighbors were saying after the parents died, she went downhill. And so that's the result of it.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend's girlfriend in Kona about the mental health issue of seniors. I mean, we have a homeless issue, but it's going to be tripled and compounded when you have a senior that has mental issues. Mm-hmm. It's going to get worse. So what drives you, or what makes you stay in this business? Because you have a very difficult job. You see a lot of the homes that are not the nicest place to be in. What keeps you going, and what makes you want to stay in this business?
Well, we see the appreciation in their face. After the long day of hard work, we're exhausted. They're exhausted. They give you a big hug and say, I can sleep tonight. That's why we keep doing what we do. We go into homes and I just want to cry sometimes because I can't believe that this family has, 5 kids and grandkids and nobody comes to visit. Nobody helps take care of grandma and grandpa. I mean, mom, grandma and grandpa, right? They're the most two special people to me. And not having that relationship that I see with other families, how dysfunctional it can be. It really hurts to know that these two seniors don't talk to anybody, or even one senior by themselves. They have no conversation with anybody. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to say no, definitely. And it twigs to the heart when it's a grandma or grandpa or those kind of things.
But you think, this decluttering issue, and I mentioned this many times before, that out of all the presentations that we videotaped and we have on our Generations 808 website, your presentation has been viewed by more than double than any other presentation that we have online. And it's such a huge issue. Why do you think there's such a huge issue with that?
People in Hawaii keep stuff. I mean, everywhere you go, there's a storage facility, right? I mean, they're the biggest things coming up are storage facilities, and people put things in there because they need it for later. Or I hear a lot of people say, well, what if something happens and no shipments can come in? I have to make sure we have toilet paper or water or, canned goods. We tend to keep more things on this island or in our homes or wherever because maybe the culture. And then a lot of us don't have only one family that lives in a home. I've gone into homes where there's generations of families that live in a home. I think it's just our culture that we tend to keep things, or
stuff.
we need to use it for later, or so everyone has a problem, whether they know it or not, with stuff that they don't need.
Yeah, it's just such a huge issue. And so one of the biggest things that I've been seeing is that, like, how do you tell mom we need to declutter, or in Hope's case, mom, you're living by yourself, you need more help. How do you start that conversation about, mom, you need some help, we'll provide it. You know, I have a distant relative that lives by herself, 92 years old, and we're worried about her falling down, we're worried about her care. How do you start that conversation? Let's say, Hope, in your case, how do you start the conversation about having, mom, I think we need to have a caregiver, or we need to have somebody here with you?
My conversation with my mom was actually quite simple. I told her, Mom, I want to have fun time with you. I don't want to be here taking care of all the little things like taking your rubbish out, cleaning your toilet. I want to be able to take you out for lunch. I don't want to be rushed about it. I would love to have somebody come and do it for you. So how about we have somebody do that? And she easily agreed. So now when I go and see mom, it's lunches. It's going to Walmart and going shopping and doing girl things. So that's how we keep it for me and my mom. I do tell family members when they're trying to get their family to agree to accept help, tell them it's for you. Don't tell them it's for them, because no senior wants to hear that you need help.
Yeah.
So if you tell them it's for me so that I have peace of mind, they're a little bit more accepting of it.
That's a great way to talk about it. It's not for them, it's for us. But so you don't really does she need care, or?
She does. She actually needs help with personal care and
So you have somebody
housekeeping.
that comes in and does that?
Yeah.
So how'd you get her to buy into that?
Well, it was a slow process. At first, the caregiver was just coming to help with the things around the house. And so I told her, well, how about you let her wash your hair for you? You used to like going to the beauty salon once a week. Why don't you have her do it for you? And that kind of transitioned over into bathing. So,
Yeah, I know. My mother-in-law, my mom, women, they go to the hair salon every week. We go, boys, we go once a month. Luckily, maybe once every 2 months.
well, and I guess my mom's generation, they only wash their hair once a week, and they had it set at the hairdressers. So she would wear these little hair nets to take a shower. And that would be like a little bonnet so she wouldn't mess up her hairdo. And that's how she would do it. So now she has wash and wear hair. But, I'm trying to encourage her to do that at least twice a week, which she's willing to do now that it's wash and wear and she's not paying $20 to have it set.
Oh, I noticed that. I mean, I'm talking to more of my female clients. They only wash their hair once a week. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I guess because if you don't exercise or jog or anything.
Well, I think that the thinking behind that was you're paying $20 to have a hairstylist set your hair. You're going to make that $20 last the whole week, right?
I guess. So that was Hope from Kokua Care, and that's a great tip, Hope, in terms of slowly migrating in some more care, and it's really interesting because, I think who needs the help? You need the help, not she needs the help. So that's a great way to think about that. Cynthia from Declutter Hawaii and Senior Move Manager. Very common question. How do you get mom and dad to start thinking about moving into a facility? Mom and dad, you're living by yourself. I'm really worried about you guys. How do you get people to understand that, it's not safe living at home, and possibly if they can afford it, a assisted living place?
It's just like what Hope said, talk about other people. So a lot of people ask me, how do I get my mom to declutter her home because she's got so much junk in there? It's not always about them. You don't want to approach them and say, oh, you have so much junk, so let's clean it up. It's always talking about other people. And because I have a lot of clients that are grandparents, we talk about their grandchildren. Do your grandchildren come over? Would you like them to come over? Would you like them to have sleepovers? Where would they sleep? Where would they play? And that helps them to see that, my house is not safe for my grandkids. I can't have them over. Or I've had clients that say, oh, my grandkids never come over because I've got so much stuff and it's not safe.
Oh, I know a few families like that.
Yeah. So it's always talking about other people and other instances. I always tell families, see what's in the news, and when they bring something up like a fire, the fire in whatever blew up faster because there were so many newspapers or magazines, or there was just so much stuff they couldn't get the people and they passed away in their own home. Right? So talk about those instances. And unfortunately, it's scary to talk about those kind of things because you don't want that to happen, but you have to come to the reality of it could happen. Other ways, most of our clients, they come to our senior living options seminars to get information, education about home care, about home health cares, about senior retirement communities, about CCRCs, so that they can start educating themselves. And I always tell people it's better to talk about things now than later. My in-laws live in Virginia, and they're only 60, but I've already had that conversation. Like, what's your life going to look like when you need help? And I've offered them to come to Hawaii.
And live with you guys?
Somewhere in Hawaii.
Well, you're not moving to Virginia, right?
No, and that's the main reason is I tell our adult children, you need to talk to mom and dad, because if you're in California or if you're in the mainland, what's going to happen if mom needs help? Are you moving to the mainland?
Absolutely.
Are you moving back home? Are they going to move to you? So it's always good to bring up the conversation earlier the better. You're not talking about them dying, but you're talking about them. What can we prepare for in the future so that when it does happen, we're not making a rash decision? Like, oh, yeah, we're going to go here because we have 2 days to make a decision.
I think more seniors today are really understanding that they're going to live a lot longer. They're going to have issues because they have friends, neighbors, relatives that needed care or needed just somebody around them, especially family. That we all need to start having a conversation more often than not, because we're only a phone call away. They're only in their early 60s, but we're only a phone call away from somebody saying, mom had a stroke or mom fell down. And it's really a conversation that we have. Do you have a boy or a son or daughter? Mm-hmm. Right?
That makes a difference too.
A huge difference. And I tell everybody when they say, I have 2 boys, oh, not good. And they laugh, but they understand that. More and more they speak around town, they understand that. But we need to try and get with the workshop is get them to understand, start the conversation now. It's really, really important. So thank you very much. So tell us what you're going to be talking about, Hope, from Kokua Care. What are you talking about? And you are speaking. I don't have, you have the schedule in front of you.
I'm speaking from 9:30 to 10:15 in the Garden Lanai.
Garden Lanai. And what were you talking?
So
about?
there are so many different things that you can learn about long-term care. My title is Navigating Long-Term Care, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the different types of care. So there are different things like you're mentioning CCRCs. There's retirement communities. There's home health, home care, daycare, adult day health. I mean, there's all different types of care resources. It's really hard if you're just getting into the caregiving aspect to know what you need or what's good for your level of care. So that's what I'll be breaking down for our listeners.
Are you going to have a handout for everybody?
I will.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's one thing that I think people get, people get flustered. What do we do? And then are you going to talk about the private pay side versus the Medicaid side at all?
I'll briefly touch on that.
That's another whole nother story.
That's a whole nother game.
Yeah. And so when you say levels of care, real quickly, what kind of levels of care are we talking about?
So, okay, we have Tutu who can do everything pretty much on her own, but she no longer drives. She's fairly independent. We have the kupuna who no longer is ambulatory. We have different levels of care, people who are bedbound, people who can, and then we have on the other side, Alzheimer's, people who are not able to make these decisions for their own.
I see. And so, Cynthia, you're going to be talking about decluttering and senior move manager or just decluttering?
We're going to talk about decluttering and how to age in place in your home. We speak at 8:30 to 9:15
So you'd be the first session of the day.
Correct, and then the first session after the break at 11:45.
And so, kind of give our listeners there a rundown on what you'll be talking about.
So we'll be talking about tips to declutter, how to declutter, where to get started, what questions to ask. How do you sort your things through? Also talking about some hoarding issues because that's the biggest thing that's been going on. Even starting the conversation, what should you start thinking about? We have tips on as far as, I always tell people there's a 1 minute rule. If you can do it in 1 minute, do it right now. Because if you keep 61 minute things.
A 1 minute rule. if you can do it in 1 minute, do it?
Yes. So, for instance, if you have your mail and I'm going to pay this bill, where are you going to put that? Put it in the inbox where you pay your bills. Or if it's something you already paid, put it in the file cabinet. Because if you keep stacking those things up, 61-minute things is actually not going to be an hour. It's going to be 2 hours or 3 hours. We tend to procrastinate on these little things, but that's how we start piles. That's how we start all these piles that we have to later go through and get rid of. So, and then also we're going to talk about things you can maybe do in your home to age in place, like lift handrail bars, lift gates, ramps, those kind of things to help do some things in your home so that you can live there safely.
So when you say the minute thing, does that go over very well? Because 1 minute seems really easy, but do they actually really do that?
No, but that's how we have to train it. And it's as simple as mail. When you get the mail, what do you do? And a lot of them say, oh, I put it down on the side. If I can go through it, I'll go through it now. If not, I'll go through it later. Or, oh, yeah, I go through it and then I give my husband something and then he puts it down there. So it's all about creating habits. And the 1 minute rule is a good habit to keep because you'll do it instead of, like I said, creating piles. Because most of the piles we have in our home are stuff that we could have done in a minute.
So when you mentioned mail, is mail a big issue?
Yeah. Hope gave us a job. We ended up taking 4 pickup truck loads because mail is heavy of just mail. And he was very organized.
4 pickup truck loads
of mail.
Just mail.
Probably like 60 bags of mail.
What kind of mail are you talking about? Like junk mail or magazines and
junk mail? Yeah, magazines, some newspapers. It was organized though. Every day, I guess he would open his mail, whatever was junk or not bills, he would wrap it up in a rubber band and label the date. And it was everywhere. It was on the couches, it was on the floors, it was down the hallway, it was in the bedroom, it was everywhere. I mean, and they had a hard time seeing, so that's why Hope told us to go and see if we can help them.
So when you said 60 years of mail, is that what you said?
Maybe.
50 years of mail?
Maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe. Well, for those listeners out there, can you kind of tell me what it would cost to do that?
The mail or just decluttering?
Well, just to declutter that.
So decluttering homes.
You guys charge an hour or a flat rate?
Our range, because everybody has different amount of stuff. Most times our average is about $2,000 to $4,000.
Wow.
And people think, oh my gosh, just to get rid of my stuff. Well, if you think about it, it took probably triple of that to get the things.
That's probably right.
Right? And it took 40 years to get stuff. But you need a week to get rid of it. So
it took a week to do that job?
Well, in a sense, yes, you can get
60 bags, I guess so. You said 60 bags?
Yeah, about there.
Wow.
And they're heavy, so of course we can't fill it up like a regular trash bag, but
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, ladies, thank you very much. Like I said, guys, the 9th annual AGM Place Workshop is at the All Moana Hotel. You can park at the shopping center. It will be a very crowded day. It is a free event, and there's no RSVP required. Just come and show up. So you can go online to our website, generations808.com. Look on the right side for our calendar and the event, and you'll click on that, and the workshop schedule will show up. If not, look for the June, July issue with the Sandwich Generation Baby Boomers on the front cover, and we have the schedule in there. We will be giving out a schedule that morning. We'll be handing out to everybody that morning. But just to give you an idea, we have 6 rooms going on at one time. So we start at 8:30. So we're going to have 3 presentations in the 6 rooms. So that's 18 in the morning. And then we'll simply repeat that in the afternoon. Parking will be a little bit of an issue because the shopping center will get full very quickly. So if you take a bus, have somebody drop you off. There is a break during a midday break at 11:30. It's a free event, but we do not serve any food. So bring a bento, a bottle of water, or something where you can go across to the mall to pick up something for lunch break. But anyway, we're here with Kokua Care, Hope Young, and Cynthia Arnold from Declutter Hawaii and Senior Move Manager. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Back with Percy Ihara from Generations Radio. If you have any questions or want to be part of our discussion, give us a call at 296-5467. That's 296-5467. This is Generations Radio on AM 690 The Answer.
Moon Physical Therapy is here to help you back to recovery. Moon Physical Therapy is located on Ward Avenue across from Sports Authority. Physician prescribed for motor vehicle accidents, workman's comp, or that body pain that comes from rushing to play without warming up. Also event cardiopulmonary rehabilitation with our one-on-one patient care. Moon's Aquatherapy heated endless pool allows for low-impact exercise with less pain on land. We will give you the right exercises to get you back to health. Ask your doctor to prescribe Moon Physical Therapy. Moon Physical Therapy. We achieve results.
Aloha, this is Martha Clopin.
And at Harrington, choosing the right Medicare plan not only saves you money, it also helps you avoid headaches and heartaches down the road.
We want to remind everyone
to listen to a Medicare Moment with Martha, Sundays from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. as we help answer important questions on Medicare so you can stay healthy, wealthy, and wise all year long.
Call me at 543-2073, 543-2073.
I was an addict from the age of 13. I finally decided it was time for a change. I walked into the Salvation Army Adult Rehabilitation Center, and that got me ready for the real world. Now, I choose to be guided by Jesus Christ, and today, I'm building a powerful and promising future, free from drugs and alcohol.
Please shop at the Salvation Army family stores. With our discounted sales, your support through your purchase helps men live a clean, sober, and productive life.
Got Vegas on your mind? Get Vacations Hawaii on the line. Vacations Hawaii offers weekly 4 and 5 night Honolulu to Vegas packages, which include 3 meals daily from $6.99. Stay at Hawaii's favorite casinos: California, Fremont, Main Street Station, and Orleans Hotel. Vacations Hawaii will get you there in comfort on deluxe wide-body 767 planes with complimentary in-flight hot meal service. Vacations Hawaii's frequent flyer program gives you future travel discounts and credits. So if you're ready to win big, call Vacations Hawaii at 591-4777 or visit PointVacationsHawaii.com.
Today, more than ever, we local people are living longer than any other state in the Union, with more seniors, baby boomers, and caregivers. Generations Radio promotes the importance to be proactive as we all age. The radio team will focus on issues facing our seniors and their families, finding resources to navigate healthy aging along with financial, legal, and caregiving information. So join Percy E. Howard from 5 until 6 each Saturday, right here on AM 690 The Answer. Focusing on the issues facing our seniors and their families today. Here's our Generations Radio host, Percy Ihara.
Welcome back. This is Percy with Generations Radio. As we speak, probably next week, you're going to slowly see the August-September issue of Generations magazine out in the newsstands, magazine racks, all the doctor offices, assisted living places, hospitals, senior centers, and a library. Featuring the 4 area directors on aging for every island here, with Kealoha Takahashi from Kauai, Deborah Stone from Maui, Nancy Aki from Honolulu County, and Kimo Alameda from the Big Island. And they'll be talking about their programs and some of their highlighted volunteer seniors out there. So thank you to all 4 of you. I really, really appreciate that. This is going to be the largest issue of Generations magazine at 64 pages. And as you guys know, we are delivered statewide now at all the state libraries. So thank you from the state library system and Keith Fujio, my friend, and the directors over there. So I appreciate that. As you know, this is our biggest issue, and it will be distributed at the senior fair. And probably the most important or most popular and most requested resource guide, which is in the middle of the magazine, is our resource guide of specials for seniors. And I was looking at the minimum age to get these specials, and I saw them one here, 90 years old. Why would they do a special for 90-year-old? Well, hello, it's a free lunch or dinner. If you're 90 years old, over at Stadium Camellia Restaurant by Stadium Mall, I believe it is. So if you're 90 plus, they might get mad at me. If you're 90 plus, you get a free lunch or dinner. How about that? And then look at this. They have seniors start at 55. Me. McDonald's. Well, I can get McDonald's free discounted price and drinks. IHOP, Burger King, Denny's. What else is on here? Ooh.
Tuesday, Ross's. Woohoo!
Oh, 55? Ross's? Where is Ross's? Oh, really? Oh, it's 55 now. That's not seniors. I'm not a senior, but I'll take the discount. And then we have here, Aiea Bowl, it's 50. Wow. And then we have Hawaii Self Storage. Allstate has specials for 55-year-olds. Mark Dixon mentioned that to me. And your Decluttered Hawaiian Senior Move Manager, you have free at 55? Did you know that, Miss Cynthia Arnold? Thank you very much. I'll refer plenty guys to you. Anyway, this is the probably the most requested page of resource guide of all the year. And so if you have any specials, let us know. Contact us here at the magazine or go to our website. But anyway, we're talking about our 9th annual Aging in Place workshop. That's at the Ala Moana Hotel next Saturday, August 15th from 8:30 to 2:30. And I did want to mention there will be 6 rooms going on at one time. It is a pretty busy day. And that's why we have our 2 ladies here that have been so gracious in helping us plan the day out. In the big room, we have, in the hibiscus room, we're going to have early detection of dementia, parts 1 and 2 from 8:30 to 9:30 and 9:30 to 10:15 by Dr. Kamal Masaki. And then we have Pamela Ani at 10:30 talking about the behaviors and communication with families with Alzheimer's. That's in the big room, in Hibiscus Ballroom. In the Carnation Room, we're going to have Michael Yee, our long-term care insurance expert, talking about how to finance your long-term care needs. I'll be talking about aging in place. And local attorney Stephen Yim, who's one of our contributing writers for the Generations magazine. We talk about estate planning for you and your family. ARP, thank you to ARP and Jackie Bolin. We'll be talking about in the Pakalana room, prepare to care as you leave your hospital. Share the care with family conversations that work. With Tracy Whitkin from the Mediation Center of the Pacific. And then we're going to have home modifications for aging in your home. So that'll be really, really great. In the Plumeria room, we'll have fall prevention by David Nakamaejo from Comforting Hands. Active aging with our personal trainer in the magazine, Diane Cadena. And then senior living options, Tricia Medeiros from the Plaza Assisted Living. We'll be talking to all the facilities out there and different options for placement. In the Ilima room will be Medicare with Martha Clopin, Understanding Medicaid with Cassandra Stewart from Cardin Outreach, and then Jane Barigse, who is with Social Security Administration, talking about the different changes going on. And so Hope and Cynthia, so Hope, you guys will be in your room, and you have a third speaker, which is Dr. Shintani.
Yes, we have Dr. Shintani, and he's always an interesting speaker. He talks about healthy foods and nutritional things to help you age better, healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would highly recommend that. I took his 10-day course, my wife and I, and it's amazing how much we learned about food. Amazing we learn about sugar and salt, which are the worst things for you. A little salt's okay. But, I mean, how to make good smoothies, how to read the back of a bag of potato chips. But it's really good. And also how to cook healthy. Besides all these presentations, so we have 18 going on in the morning, and all we do is we repeat them in the afternoon. And so we have another big room, the Hibiscus Ballroom. We'll also have over 50.
We have more than 60.
More than 60.
More
now,
than
Hope.
60 exhibitors.
And so, Hope, can you kind of give us a breakdown of some of the exhibitors that we're going to see?
Well, we've got a lot of the Medicare Advantage programs, so HMSA, Kaiser, Aloha Care, Humana. We've got all of those people there. They'll be there as exhibitors. We've also got the big organizations that do senior housing, so Craigside, Arcadia, Hawaii Kai Retirement. We've got other services that are city-run. We've got Hawaii State Library for the Blind. We've got Ho'opono services. We've got hospice, interim health care, all types of resources to find out information, where you can go if you need services for your senior. It's a good resource for people who are trying to find information.
Right.
It'll be right there at the palms of your hands. You just go in and ask questions.
Yeah. And so, Cynthia, we have a lot of nonprofits, right?
Yep. We have we have companies like Project Donna, the Elder Abuse Justice Unit, SMP EOA. We'll be having some other
SMP is a Senior Medicare Patrol, for those of you who don't know that acronym. They are actually a bunch of volunteers. They'll help you explain the Medicare, and which is very important because the enrollment period starts in October.
Catholic Charities will also be there, the Senior Companion Group, the National Parkinson's Foundation, of course, the Alzheimer's Foundation, Maluhia and Leahi Hospital, the Natutu group.
Natutu, Grandparents Raising Grandchildren. And that other one you mentioned, the Elder Abuse Unit, that's Scott Spallina, I believe, the prosecuting attorney that prosecutes anybody that commits a crime against anybody over 60. But then you also mentioned SMP, like I said, that's the Medicare volunteer group. And then there was another volunteer group you mentioned that I wanted to get.
Project Donna will also
Project Donna. Project Donna is a faith-based organization all over the state, actually, that can provide respite services, but also really a lot of minimal home services for you. And then who else we got here on this list?
The newest one is the HPD, the Call 911 that was on the radio last week.
Yes, Officer Alan Nagata. We'll be talking about a new service coming out end of August, early September, Smart 911. Remember that, Ms. Kim, here? That's right. That's anyway, this is a new service that's going to start late August, early September. And it's going to actually be a web-based formatted program where you can go online, smart911.org, and it's a website. You plug in your information, and it can put it to the point where you can put in pictures of your house if you live in a rural area, or like in my house where you can't see the mailbox. You can put pictures of your dogs if you have animals, picture of yourself if you're a senior that maybe they want to identify you. You can put in any of your contacts for your children, your doctor, your medications, if you have Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, any other issue that you have, put it on their website. So when you have a call from that number, whether it's your cell phone or your landline, they can actually pull up all the information right there, whether it's HPD or the fire department.
Percy, do you know if they have it set up so that you can put the lockbox number in there?
I'm sure they can. Good question. So I asked them like 10 questions. They got me stumped every time. They had all these services. But I never thought about that. But who has a lockbox?
Well, that's something that we actually tell our seniors who live alone to have a lockbox available for them so that if somebody comes and visits and they don't answer the door, that person can get in to find out if there's anything wrong.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Instead of having the key out there floating.
Very good idea. I'll ask them. I'm sure you can. The website is very robust. The Smart app on my mobile phone didn't have a whole lot of things you can look at. But if you put it up on your laptop, it has a whole menu of things you can put on there. So I'm sure they can. They also have a text one if you don't want to call. You're hearing impaired. They have a thing called Smart Text. So you can actually get your number and text you information back and forth. So if you can't, hear or be able to speak. So that's a great service. I see here you have CapTel, the Hawaii CapTel services, which is the
caption calling.
Caption calling, right. Who else we got here?
We also have Vacations Hawaii.
Oh my goodness, Vacations Hawaii. Yes, we will be giving away a trip for 2, 4 nights, I believe, 5 days, airfare, hotel, 3 meals a day for free.
Now, can I enter to win that?
Yes, you can. Anybody that attends, Miss Kim, can sign up. All you do, they'll be in the middle of the hallway. Fill out a small name and number. That's it. No information about your company or your family or your social security number. Just name and number. And we'll be doing a drawing. You don't have to be there, by the way. You do not have to be there to win the drawing. As it was interesting, one of the winners, I believe it was last year, worked at the Library for the Blind.
Wow.
And was there looking for information for her mother. And she won the trip. So, there'll be about over 1,200 people there, so come early. But yes, thank you to Kevin Kaneshiro from Vacations Hawaii. That's going to be a great drawing there. I see here Manoa Cottages will be there, and Nuuanu Memorial. We'll see the Face Action Group. Let's see here. Islands Hospice. Hawaii Hospice is going to be here. Great. And that's one service I'll tell you we all need to be able to provide. Hawaii New Trauma Registry. What else we got here, ladies?
AARP.
AARP, of course, absolutely.
Various home cares like Safe Harbor.
Safe Harbor,
Right
yes.
at Home. Wilson Care Group. We've got the Caregiver Foundation.
Oh, yes.
And they're
That's a great
also a really
nonprofit.
great resource as well. They're great support services for family caregivers.
Yeah, they do caregiver support group meetings every week on this island. Right at Home's going to be here. Michael Char.
Yeah.
We have Hospital Pacific. That's a new one. And then, of course, the Plaza. Palolo Chinese Home. Oh, Kevin Wu's coming. That's great. Then you have Occupational Therapy Association, Joni there. So, guys, you have a whole gamut of different resources available. And all the presenters, I believe, are going to be handing out handouts for every presentation?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Well, that's great. So, anyway, we're here. So, Hope, where do you see our industry 5 years from now?
Oh, boy. I think we're going to be booming. There are going to be a lot more people who need our care and our services. There's going to be many more organizations that provide care services, whether it's a facility or a home care or a home health agency. You're going to have a lot of people out there. And what is happening now is that the goal is to keep people in their own homes because
Right.
there's not enough beds out there. Putting them, institutionalizing our seniors is not going to happen for the big picture. There's just not enough beds for them.
We have less than half the national average.
So we need to have that support services in place for them to stay at home and be healthy and safe. I think you're also going to start seeing senior communities where the seniors are going to support each other. You're seeing that a lot more like in Europe, where they live in little villages together, and one may still drive, one may cook, one may, do caregiving services, and they just support each other. I think you're going to see a lot more of that kind of thing going on,
But then we're going to have a shortage of caregivers.
which is why they're going to start caring for each other.
Absolutely. Miss Cynthia, so where do you see the declutter and people moving? I mean, we only have some certain amount of properties coming up, and it's very limited still yet. But where do you see that going, and especially with the declutter issue?
Declutter will be here forever, I think.
Well, as a nonprofit, I mean, you don't have so much funds that available
Correct.
out there, right?
Correct. As far as people having more things than they need, I don't think that it's ever going to go away. But because, like Hope said, there's not going to be enough beds, people are going to have to stay home. So we're going to have to help them to create a safer environment at their home. So decluttering and creating, bigger walking paths, maybe changing the carpet to regular flooring. Those kind of things are going to be much more needed as the time goes on.
Yeah. And I think dealing with families is going to be another issue.
Yes, that's always going to be in it. I don't think that's going to go away either.
I don't think that ever changes.
No?
No.
Well, I do mention this quite a bit. Like we have family that are trying to do that right now. Is that you still, your parents still look at you as your children.
Correct.
And sometimes it's hard for them to take. If you Hope says, you should do this, you should do that, right?
Oh, I've got so many years of experience, and I have so many good suggestions. But to my mom, I'm still the daughter.
Little daughter, she still sees you as a high schooler or a teenager.
I have to be creative when I approach her with things, because me saying, Mom, we need to do this or you need to do that, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Cynthia, I know you don't want to move to Virginia, so hopefully your in-laws will love Hawaii.
Yes, she will.
But then you might have to move in with you guys.
That's what we're seeing, that if clients aren't moving to a retirement community, where can they live in our home? We've had a lot of clients that the adult children are taking mom and dad in, so we have to create an area for them in their home, whether it's a ramp to get to that one bedroom, add a different kind of shower, all flooring, no carpet, a bigger room so that a hospital bed can fit with other things. So I think we're going to start seeing more of that aging in place at home, or having a grandma or mom move in with them. And unfortunately, it will happen where there's going to be not enough beds. So what can we do? And we might revert back to family taking care of family, like how it used to be. I had a client just recently say, I took care of my parents and my grandparents as we were growing up, and I assumed my children were going to take care of me. But they're not. So,
I've heard that a lot. And nowadays, with our economy the way that it is, it's just not feasible for people to take off from work.
Exactly.
There is the FMLA Act where they have time to take off, but to do it full time, it's just a really big challenge for them to do so.
That's if they live in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're seeing more and more children move away for better jobs, more education, and they eventually stay on the mainland. And that's one of the big issues, as you guys know, when you talk to clients. I first find out where the kids live.
We have challenges with distant caregivers. So I have clients who live in France. Their family members live here, but they're in France. And so we do a lot of email communication. I have people who live on the mainland. I've had adult children live in Japan. I've had them live all over the world, and they're trying to coordinate all these services from wherever they're at.
Via email,
Skype, things like that.
Do they come once a year?
They try to. I know, and the distance itself is kind of challenging because how do you get on a plane and take time off and you're here for only a week and get all of these things done?
Scrambling.
Yeah, it's a big challenge.
Yeah, it's just something that I think hopefully, like I said, guys, we need to be proactive, look for resources out there. As I mentioned earlier, that our big issue, the August-September issue of Generations Magazine, features the 4 area directors on aging from Kauai, Maui, the Big Island, and Honolulu County here. So check that out. It'll be out very shortly. We have talked, have articles about The Greatest Generation, the book, The Greatest Generation by Tom Brokaw. Alzheimer's facts, not fiction. We have probably our most popular resource guide, the senior discount pages. And a lot of them, believe it or not, guys, start at 55. That's me. And if you're over 90, Stadium Camellia Restaurant gets free lunch or dinner. I'm telling you, I'm hoping a lot of guys are going to show up. Hopefully they don't get mad at me. But if you're 90 plus, it's in print. And we confirmed everything, by the way. But yeah, Waikiki Aquarium, wow, you get 65-year-old discount rate as well. So anyway, any last words, ladies? And thank you so much for being such a big part of our 9th annual Aging in Place workshop.
Well, definitely come down and visit us. We're having 80th anniversary birthday cake for Social Security.
That's right. I forgot about the birthday cake.
During the break. So if you're just there for cake, come join us. We'll have a good time.
Yeah. Cynthia, any last parting words here?
I think it's one of the best workshops you can get all in one place. Come and stay for the whole day. Bring lunch. Stay for as many 6 presentations as you can, and just talk to people, because everybody here are professionals and they can help answer questions. And
everybody works with seniors, and they probably know someone else that might be able to help you. So it's next Saturday, August 15th at the Alamon Hotel from 8:30 to 2:30. It is free. Parking is at the mall, but just remember, it's probably going to fill up quickly. So come early. At the break at 11:30, we do not serve lunch, so bring your own bento, box lunch. Go to the mall, pick up something, bring some water. It's going to be a great, great day, and thank you, ladies, for all your help. It's just going to be a great, busy day, so be prepared, everybody. Anyway, I am Percy E. Howard, your host here every Saturday from 5 to 6 and Sunday from 3 to 4 here on AM 690, The Answer. Ms. Kim, thank you. Welcome back. Thank you so much for your help here, and we'll see everybody at the Alamon Hotel April 15th, Saturday from 8:30 to 2:30. Aloha and live well.